All the governors of Southeast are supporting, the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu second term. I saw a man that was running his mouth, and the man was saying the only place that you have, 100% support, a man has his region intact is, in Southeast, and he was talking of my brother Peter Obi. If when the presidency will come to Southeast, I should be at the forefront because of my performance. And I've asked for debate. Anybody that feels otherwise, I created something out of this Ebonyi State. God used me to do it. And so we compare, governor to governor time and compare what you have done for Southeast. I beat my chest and said, listen, God has used me, President Bola Ahmed has used me to better the laws of Southeast. You can tell me when else we had it this good. And so boldly we are saying that Southeast, we support President, supporting President for 2027. And there's no governor in Southeast that is not supporting the President. And governors are in charge of their states. You see Anambra, you see Enugu, you see Ebonyi. You've seen all that the governor is doing. You see Abia, my cousin, you see Imo, our leader. So we are very confident that we write our history. And as you're here, my advice for our people, the Igbos, is to re-engage. We can't get to presidency by sentiment. We have to re-engage, we have to support other regions, and at the time of God, nobody will stop it. It will come to us. And who knows, whether that time it will be the man standing by the other women standing.
That was former Governor Dave Umahi, and now Minister of Works, speaking in Ebonyi State when the Minister of Information and Orientation, National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, paid him a courtesy visit in Ebonyi State. In the course of Mohammed Idris and his team's visit to Ebonyi State to commission or to inspect some federal government projects in Ebonyi State. You heard the Minister of Works claiming that 2027 is not he's telling Peter Obi and the Igbos that 2027 is not God's time for the Igbo or Peter Obi to become president. And he went on to say that when the time comes, that he is even better positioned, that he has done far better, that his work will speak for him, that he should even be considered better than Peter Obi. That's what he was saying. If you understand, you will understand. Now, first of all, Peter Obi has never said that he wants to be Igbo president. If you are a follower of news in Nigeria, you will know that throughout the 2023 presidential campaign, while Alhaji Atiku Abubakar was saying that what the North want is a northern president, and Tinubu say that he's for Emilokon, that it is Yoruba turn, it is my turn. Tinubu say it is Yoruba turn, it is my turn. Atiku was saying what the North need was a northern president. That was ahead of the 2023 election. Peter Obi was the only candidate that was saying that do not vote for me because I am Igbo. Do not vote for me because I'm a Christian. Vote for me because I have the capacity to deliver, to move this country from consumption to production. So that is to put it that Peter Obi wants to be president of Nigeria as somebody who has capacity, who has the knowledge, who can do the job, not because he is Igbo. That should be settled. So because Dave Umahi want to present Peter Obi as Igbo presidency aspirant. That's not true. That is not what Peter Obi represents. He was a national, in the last election, he was a national consensus. That was why he got over 10 million votes. That was allegedly slashed down to 6.1 million votes. And it was because of Peter Obi, it has been said that INEC deliberately switched off the transmission of the 2023 presidential election result in real time. Lai Mohammed himself said it when he was outside Nigeria, that INEC deliberately switched off the transmission of the presidential election result. But that is by the way. Now, Umahi is saying that 2027 is not God's time. That when God's time reach for Igbo to produce president, nobody can stop it. So he speaks the mind of God. He knows God's mind that 2027 is not for Igbo. Okay, and it's not for Peter Obi. Because Dave Umahi, he has become a prophet, or he has become Nostradamus, or whatever. He knows the mind of God. Interestingly, he said that when the time reach, when that time will reach, when no man can stop God from making Igbo president, Dave might say, I'm even better than Peter Obi and others. Look at what I did in Ebonyi State. I found it very strange that Dave Umahi thought that because he built a couple of bridges, that has made him a star. Agreed, he did turn Abakaliki into something reasonable, given the amount of resources available to Ebonyi State. But to say that put him in a position where he's ahead of all the other people who had ever been governor in Southeast is to put it mildly an insult to people of Southeast. But you can see he threw a debate, said when the time comes we will debate. So he felt that he can be able to defeat by debate, he can be able to prove that he did more in Ebonyi State than Peter Obi did in Anambra or any other governor did in any other state in the Southeast. But let me burst his bubble. Because in this channel, what we do is we deal with numbers. If you notice in this channel, we're always talking about numbers. And that's why we're in love with Peter Obi. Because Peter Obi is also a very number person. So we deal with numbers. We deal with data. Aggregated data that you can go and debate and verify. Now, when I looked at the United Nations Development Program ranking, because what I did was I wanted to find out the United Nations Development Program ranking of states in the Southeast to know how they have performed over the years. And I was made to understand that there is a 2016 National Human Development Index, which was published by United Nations Development Program, titled Nigerian Human Development Report 2018. Yes, this program started in 2016, but the report was published in 2018, which detailed human capital development in Southeast. But when I asked for that question, I was made to understand that there is no specific data for Southeast. Instead, I was given the data for the whole Nigeria. Okay, and when I was given the data for the whole Nigeria, it was now aggregated based on the national data. We now reduce it to data for Southeast in terms of United Nations Development Program development indices of ranking of Southeast states. And I discovered that by the ranking that was done by Broadband University and Global Data Lab, and then by the one that was done by the United Nations program under the headline of Nigerian National Development Report 2018. I look at these two reports, and this is the summary of what they have. This report shows that Anambra is the most developed state in Southeast. Because the question was, which rank Southeast states according to development? Number one was Anambra. And Anambra is not only number one in Southeast. Anambra is number two in the whole of Nigeria. Anambra is ranked the second most developed state in the whole of Nigeria. And that automatically makes Anambra State number one. And Anambra was the state that Peter Obi governed for 8 years. That was the state that Peter Obi governed for 8 years. Is ranked number two in Nigeria in terms of development. In Southeast, Anambra is number one. That's a big state. Good. Number two most developed state in Southeast is Imo State. Imo State is number two in Southeast, but Imo State is number three in the whole of Nigeria. I find this interesting because some people, I have had a debate when people say that if Southeast is developed, why are they all over other states in Nigeria hustling? And I used to challenge them and say, okay, does it mean because you see Chinese and Indians in Nigeria, hustling in Nigeria, that Nigeria is better than India? Or that Nigeria is better than China? That's the question I used to pose to them. That Southeast person is in your state doesn't necessarily mean that his state is down. That's not true. That's not true. Imo State is number two in Southeast and number three in the whole of Nigeria. So let nobody deceive you that when you see people from Southeast, whatever state you are from, you think that because they are in your state, their state is totally down, because that's not really true. Everybody is looking for greener pasture. Even the Chinese, the Indians, the Syrians and whatever, they are here in Nigeria. It doesn't mean that Nigeria is better than them. Because a Chinese is in Nigeria hustling, doesn't mean that Nigeria is better than China. Because you see an Indian hustling in Lagos doesn't mean that Lagos is better than China or India. So that's a side statement I just want to make in terms of this development indices I'm showing you. Because it's Dave Umahi actually that led us to all this. So Imo is number two in Southeast. Number three in Southeast in terms of development is Abia State. And Abia is number 6 most developed states in Nigeria in terms of development. And we are doing this based on United Nations Development Program ranking. Okay. Abia is number 6 in Nigeria, number 3 in the whole of Southeast. Enugu State is number 4 in Southeast. Enugu State is number 4 most developed state in Southeast. But in Africa, in Nigeria, Enugu is the 7th overall most developed state in Nigeria. 7th in Nigeria. Now, Ebonyi State did well in terms of Nigerian ranking, in national ranking, because Ebonyi is number 10. That was a state that Dave Umahi governed for 8 years. It's number 10 in terms of development in Nigeria, Ebonyi State. So for them to be in number 10 out of 36 states and Federal Capital Territory Abuja, it means they are better than so many states in Nigeria. But Ebonyi State is the least developed state in the southeast. So if we are to pick somebody based on the development, there's no way Dave Umahi should be able to compete with Peter Obi. The so-called the bragging he was doing, as you saw him on that video, is a material. He can brag as much as he like, but the data by the United Nations Development Program and the Global Data Lab of Rodbourne University showed clearly that Ebonyi State that he's bragging about, that he will use as evidence of capacity to be a better president than Peter Obi, is ranked the least developed state in the southeast. So that is it about that. Then another thing he said in that video was saying that the whole southeast governors are with Tinubu. Nobody is bothered about where the governors are. But where are the people of southeast? He said somebody was running his mouth, said that Peter Obi has southeast locked down. Yes, he has it locked down. Unless they didn't conduct free and fair election, Peter Obi will sweep southeast. Whichever political platform he is, he will sweep it. So the person that Dave Umahi say was running his mouth, was not running his mouth. That's fact. Peter Obi has southeast locked down, and not only southeast, so many states locked down. If only the APC would allow free and fair election. Then he talk about the southeast should support other region. Southeast has been supporting other regions since 1999. Southeast supported Obasanjo 1999 to 2007. Southeast supported Yaradua 2007 to 2010 when he died. Southeast supported Goodluck Jonathan, who is from South. And of course, the Yaradua I mentioned is from Northwest. Obasanjo is from Southwest. Southeast supported Jonathan. They even carried Jonathan in their head more than even South people. Part of the enmity that Southeast people are having today in Nigeria because of their support for Jonathan. Even the Jonathanian people, South, they had already moved on. But Southeast keep on supporting Jonathan. People like Asari Dokubo that were threatening fire and brimstone, say if Jonathan was not re-elected in 2015, that there will be a crisis, there will be this and that. Where are they today? They are even campaigning for Tinubu, the man that chased Jonathan out of the presidential villa, with Jonathan's tail between his legs. So Southeast has been supporting others to produce president. So what is he talking about? Even in 2003, Odumegwu Ojukwu was the presidential candidate of APGA. Southeast people did not vote for him. I don't think that is because that Ojukwu doesn't have capacity, but they read through it and felt that Ojukwu's chances of winning the presidency was very slim. And then went with Obasanjo. Southeast have been the most savvy zone in Nigeria. If you look at all the candidates that Southeast never supported since 1999, they have been very disastrous for Nigeria. From Muhammadu Buhari to Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Look at our history. All those presidents that were not supported by Southeast, they have been disaster for Nigeria, from Muhammadu Buhari to Bola Ahmed Tinubu, showing you that the Southeast voters are the most sophisticated in Nigeria. They always go for the best. And all that they have went for had always been the best, including voting for Peter Obi in 2022. So it's infantile for Umahi to say that Southeast should help other zones, as if Southeast has been isolating themselves all these years, that they have not been voting for other zones. They have always been voting for Peter Obi. When did Peter Obi start contesting for president? It's not in 2022. Okay? That was it. But we know the history of the Southwest. Southwest voted against Obasanjo in mass in 1999. The reason they voted for Obasanjo in 2003 was a deal that Obasanjo entered with them. And even after that, they continued to be in the opposition. So there is nothing wrong in being in opposition or being against the government of the day. But the truth of the matter is that the Southeast has been the most sophisticated voting bloc in Nigeria. All those they have voted for have performed well for Nigeria. From Obasanjo to Yaradua to Jonathan. Their record has been the best this country has ever seen since 1999. Those that were rejected by Southeast have been very disastrous for Nigeria. It therefore means that Southeast voters are more sophisticated than any other zone in Nigeria. And they are even more sophisticated than Dave Umahi. After all, Dave Umahi never supported Peter Obi in 2023. So there was no Southeast governor that was on the side of Peter Obi in 2023. So what is all this noise that 2023 Southeast governors are with Tinubu? It doesn't really matter. If vote will count, it's immaterial who the governors are with in the Southeast or in any part of Nigeria. If only the votes will count. I don't know what to think about Dave Umahi's saying that 2027 is not God's time for Igbo to produce president. And also saying that even when the time for president reach, when that God's time reach, that he's better qualified than any other person to be considered for the position based on his record in Ebonyi State. But based on the data you have just seen, data from Radboud University and Global Data Lab and the United Nations Development Program, which give you a summary of development rating of Nigerian states, you can see that Ebonyi State he was bragging about that he turned around is the least developed state in Southeast, even though it may be number 10 in the whole of Nigeria. But whatever is your position, let's hear from you at the comment section. Thank you for watching this video. And if you are new to my channel, you have not yet subscribed to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Hit the subscription button, hit the notification bell. When you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell, anytime I have a new video, you'll be among the first to know. God bless you. And please don't forget to like this video, because when you like it, God will rank it high and recommend it for more people. Thank you, and God bless you and yours.